So as we are doing kind of some of the big boys now, Valverde was the first team of the season we've packed for La Liga so far, and he looks incredible. He's got himself the rapid, the incisive, and also the anticipate with the 4-star, 6 foot, coming in pretty well with them stats. Now obviously when it comes to play styles and chemistry styles, I feel like an anchor possibly could be the good move for him. When we look at him here, he's coming in at 166. This is going to be a centre mid that is just very available and very easy to get on with. You look at him with obviously the 98 pace, 93 defending and 96 physical, making him into a 95 centre mid or a 96 DM is going to be very, very easy. Playstyles, we've got some decent across the board, little bit lacking in the defensive playstyles, which I might add. Maybe a future Evo later down the line could be an interesting one, but obviously we don't know past team of the season, so regardless, we've got to go with what we know. We have got the inside forward plus if we want to put him at right mid, but we've got the playmaker, the box to box as the pluses for his centre mid, and we do have the holding and half wing as the normal plus. No deep line playmaker, but that can be added with different evolutions as we know. So I think for the cheapness of him, he's going to be pretty good. There's a lot of good La Liga players, but Valverde, it's going to be quite a nice cheap one. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with El Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. Good interception from Valverde there. He's always going to be a bit of a playmaker, which is exactly what I like from him. But throwing in now the anticipate, which is most definitely going to be a great attribute for him. It's just going to open up so much more avenues for him that could do quite well. Trying a bit too hard with him there if I tried. One sec. I think the balance of having the incisive pass as well is always going to be very nice when it comes to going with the anticipate. It's just a nice upgrade to have in general, to have that passing and defensive playstyle plus working in a line, to be honest. Good interception again. Doesn't get the header, which I don't like. I think the only other thing that I could have asked for that would have been better would be them extra defensive playstyle pluses. Possibly could have been a game changer for him in that sense, just because you've got the anticipate, which is a big one, don't get me wrong, like that's absolutely huge, but having that little bit extra on the kind of slide tackle or block might have been a really nice move as well. It'd be kind of like having a striker but only having like, I don't know, like a low driven but no finesse, nothing, like no playstyle plus playstyles in general around anything else. It's kind of, it's okay and it will work. Like you can just utilize one pass, one tackle, one shot, but it's never going to be the full works for him as such. But that being said, having him at so cheap as well is an absolute game changer. The incisive is always lovely as well. Looking for that pass back into CR7. Oh, it's stuck. Oh, did he move his keeper a little bit? I was hoping I got more of an angle on that, to be honest. There it is. Look for the ball. There. Stunner. First time. Oh, you never know. Try and hit it across. Get that little bit of a dip, but didn't quite work on this one. Look for a little bit of an outswinger if we can. Find the ball back. He obviously can play the right mid. Bit of James into Teo. Lovely assist. Assist of an assist if we take it. Another point of view with him is going to be, how cheap is he going to be? If he's 170 on the first like hour and a half, he's going to be monstrously cheap. Like he's got to be more than likely one of the easier ones to get. So that's going to be very interesting in terms of a centre mid, because they're not necessarily a position that is completely out of whack, but it's most definitely very difficult to find a solid box-to-box defensive midfielder and passing player that is that cheap and that affordable, but with a solid level across the board. So he could be a fan favorite. I think the only thing is you've definitely got to have more Real Madrid La Liga players, because obviously the Uruguayan kind of chemistry has got to be there, and with no Courtois as a team of the season is rather annoying as well. Just a generic kind of Real Madrid or even Barcelona goalkeeper would have actually been really nice to change my keeper up, because Courtois is the keeper at the moment. It would have been a nice little change to have. And I would have liked as well maybe having his power shot pluses as he had previously, just as a shooting element would have been quite nice. But I must admit, I do like the rapid in general. It will work in its sense. Into his feet. Little one-off. He's always been a very good kind of like middleman-esque sort of player. Like, he's kind of got that defensive down on lock, but then he's got that kind of midfielder powerhouse of somebody who can be like almost like a Bruno-esque sort of player. Like, he is quite literally a playmaking defensive midfielder. He works really, really well on that. So that is always a nice thing to have with this sort of kind of centre mid as well. Oh, is making that dying run through. Oh, didn't really matter, did it? Find him in the middle. A little bit of a CR7 ball. Could we get a free kick? Any danger? Would have been quite nice to have seen potentially any free kick prowess from him. Gets the ball back again. Little 1-2. Sees him back through. Valverde, not going to get too much on the incisive there. And wow, that was most definitely the wrong pass. As we find it, Valverde brings it in. A mistake from the keeper brings us to 3-3, as that pass in general was outrageously bad in itself. Good interception again. Can we find it into CR7, who's going to have a little pass into Hullet, finds the corner and doesn't give up with a 5-5. Can we just survive the kickoff goal? Because it has been 3 times in a row we have been kick-offed and scored against from just a finesse outside the box. So I'm praying we can just block this for a minute, and then we can kind of get our attack in order to maybe get a 90th minute if we can. Valverde into Yamal. He's going to be another one that's going to be well worth looking at as a team of the season. Into CR7. He's going to play it. I was hoping he was going to move him. He moved him every other time so far, and it's not to this. Overhead. And that's going to be it for half-time, or full-time. Going into the overall form then, so he's coming in at 150. Genuinely, the price is fantastic in my eyes. The rapid, as much as I don't necessarily need it on a centre mid, it's not a bad thing for him. I like the incisive, I like the anticipate. Like I said, you might have some sort of issues with kind of no defensive playstyle pluses more so than anything. But in terms of the La Liga team of the season, Bellingham's obviously going to be there, to be honest. A little bit underwhelming as well. Power shot, okay. Incisive, love it. Quick step, yes, okay. Again, cam, centre mid, whatever, it's okay. But technical as well, I feel like they could have added something different for him, to be honest. I really think that could have been a better one. One that does look very underrated in this kind of price point. Pedri, anticipate, intercept. Obviously getting himself the tiki-taka and the incisive, as well as then a lovely stat boost. That could be a centre mid that personally for me would take the cake in that option. It's going to be very interesting. Obviously, we do have Gyökeres as well as one of the best strikers that we've seen. He's going to be outrageously good as well, especially at hopefully quite a cheap price. But what we're looking at Valverde, I think he's going to be very, very cheap, affordable, a solid centre mid. May not be the best, may not be number 1 on that score sheet, but he most definitely should be able to give you at least a kind of, I don't know, I'd say an 8 out of 10 at the minimum every game. So he's going to be an interesting one. Let me know your thoughts. Who have you managed to get? And I'll catch you all for that next one. Peace.